Welcome to episode 3. In today's episode we will build a church. We will also build a grand hall and a library. Well, we will start building it as well as look at our underground excavations and deal with an attack. So there is a lot to go on in this episode. It's only 14 minutes. I've condensed it down quite a bit. So here we are hunting. We've just managed to kill a deer. And Isabella here is going to go and pick up that carcass and take it back to our village, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we've got that hunting done. That corpse will get dumped onto our dumping pile and then will hopefully get taken to the butchering table, and we will have some more meat in our collection. So I was just having a look underground there, and as you can see, we still haven't dug that -2 layer yet. Just have a quick check of what we have on our stockpile. So we've got a lot of herbs, we've got some milk and some other bits and pieces. And then up top we've got seeds and various other items. So skipping forwards again, we're now going to build the basis for our great hall. So we want to make it fairly big. This open space here probably is going to be quite a good area to do it. So let's get it built. Again, the size that you do for this is entirely dependent on what you want to do yourself. I'm doing it fairly large so that we can accommodate a large library on the second floor and a grand hall on the ground floor. So each of those rooms has specific requirements, and you can go to the room list to see what those requirements are. But for now, let's actually just get the fundamentals of the building in place. So some windows, a door, again, there we go, in the middle for those ones. That looks all right. Next thing, of course, is we want to put in a floor and a set of stairs so that we can go up to the next floor. You can see there's a bush there that's going to need to be cut down before we can deal with that particular floor tile. There's another deer there. We could mark it for being hunted, but to be fair, we've got 119 meat now, so I don't think we particularly need to. And this building is going to be our church. Now, this is the smallest possible size you can build a church. So what you want is an interior size with a wall dividing the middle and at least 2x4. You can do it a bit bigger, 2x5, 2x6. So a door in each side, a window in each side, and then plonk a roof on and a floor and the worshipping idols. So this is going to be our place of worship. So we're going to put a thatch roof on the top, and then the next things that we need are, so if you go to your leisure items, you have two. You have the Oak Brethren, and you want to make sure that arrow is at the front, and the Restitutionist. So again, rotate it round and place. So that is your basic place of worship and will satisfy your settlers' needs. So there we go. That needs to be constructed. Again, I will keep skipping forwards. It's about an hour's footage condensed down into 14 minutes. So again, we need more wood. So let's cut down some trees. You can see that we only have, in fact, we don't have really any wood in supply. Okay, so the next thing is that set of stairs I was saying about. So we want to get that put in so that we can then go up to the next floor. And then, of course, we're going to do that with more wooden wall. So let's get that put in and across. There we go. And then what we'll want to do is put some windows in there as well. So let's go to our wooden windows. We can put them slightly off kilter with the ones that are below. It's entirely up to you. I mean, this is for aesthetic purposes really only. It doesn't really serve any benefits. And again, plonk a roof on. We could go with a wooden roof maybe this time and drag that over. Oh, no, what went wrong there? Okay, we'll try that again. So let's put our roofs on so we can see what we're doing and drag that over. There we go. So that's a good roof. So we've got the roof onto our great hall and library. So upstairs will be a library. So what we'll be doing is moving our research desks into that top floor and building a lot of shelves for our books, because that's the best place for your books to be. You shouldn't really have them in your stockpiles. So again, let's skip forwards. And the game is running at high speed at the moment. Again, we're collecting a lot of resources but it's also worth having a look at your jobs to see what priorities you've got. Is there anything that you want to increase the priority of? Is there something that isn't being done? Again, look at your settlers and then decide if you want to change anything. So we're going to make Stanley a hauler by giving him priority 1. The main reason is that stuff is getting left around lying on the floor and we want it all moved to our stockpiles. So it's worth having someone as priority 1 for hauling. And of course the other thing, as I said, is going to happen in this episode is we are going to have an attack on the village. So we will be defending, and I'll be showing you how that works as well. But our accommodations and buildings are looking fairly good now. We've got our shared bedroom, and of course we've got our great hall being constructed with, which will also be our library. So Stanley's now doing his little hauling mission. So he is now doing a priority of hauling stuff. And one of the other things we want to do is get the dirt piles off of our internal storage, because we don't need dirt piling up. So let's untick dirt, and what Stanley will now do is he will remove the dirt, and let's make sure that it goes on the dumping pile. So raw material, dirt, there we go. So that should all get piled up on our dumping pile. Right, our building's coming along nicely. They haven't actually started the place of worship yet, but that's fine. You can see we've also put in some cross beams so that we could get the floor in, and I put a couple of cross beams on the top as well for the structural improvement of the roof and the aesthetics. The roof could have been built without it, but I like to put it in because realistically you would need supports across the middle of those rooms to hold the roof up, otherwise it would probably just collapse. Again, they're busy constructing, so that's all good. We will be skipping ahead again and a couple more times, but the attack is incoming soon. So there's 50 wood here and 50 wood here. So let's cut these down and add some more wood to our collection so that we can continue building. As you can see, there's other trees marked for cutting down as well. So Perfectus's defiant settlers refuse to bow to the assailant's demands. Your settlers will get a positive mood modifier. Okay, we took up arms, so we've got 3 people coming in to attack. Again, pause the game, and what you want to do is first you want to find your settlement, because it takes you to where the attackers are, and you want to find all your people. Let's just drag a big massive, that we've got 2 settlers there, so draft, and then decide where they're going to go. Now we also want to draft Stanley and Gunilda. So get them both drafted and all heading to the same kind of location, and then let's hit play, because the next thing you want to do is put your melee people in the front and your archers at the back. So your ranged attackers have the defense of the melee people in front of them so that they can keep shooting, while your meleeers are preventing those people from attacking them. You can't always do it, as you'll see in this attack, that the attackers will go after our archers, even though we have put our archers behind our melee attackers. So we have our melee with shield and our 2-handed melee, and we have our 2 with ranged weapons, and it is 4 versus 3. And I would also suggest in an attacking situation, what you do is you focus fire. So you want to get everyone shooting and attacking the same person. So there we go, we've targeted this guy first. There we go, double tap there. He's already injured. In come the extra archers and nearly dead. But this guy is running around the edge and causing us a whole world of problems. So Isabella is now wounded. We've got the 2 meleeing up at the top, but we have victory. So we've killed 2, but let's kill the 3rd. So Gunilda took the most damage. Let's get everyone attacking that last person before he starts running, and he's going to try and run away, but that's fine. Our archers will take him down. Bosh, there we go. So all dead, and of course what that does mean, you now have all of their equipment that you can take. Now you don't want to allow corpses. I mean, it's up to you. If you want cannibals, that's fine. Personally, I don't. So let's undraft everyone. Click the draft button again, and everyone goes back to their business. Now what we can do is we can highlight everything on the ground, click allow, click on the corpse, click unallow, and the same for the next one. So allow, and then click on that corpse and don't allow, and then the same for the third body. So allow but don't allow the body. So now all of the equipment, we're going to need storage. And one of the other stockpiles that we haven't allocated yet is a weapon stockpile. So where I was thinking of the Great Hall, what we're going to end up doing is actually putting some more stockpiles on the ground so that we can store that equipment without it getting damaged by being outside. So she's got a moderately bruised arm, nothing major. No blood loss, in a minimal amount of pain that's already decreasing, and her hit points are already going back up again. And everyone else's health is all fine and their hit points are recovering. So we're in a good position. So let's skip forwards again towards the final section of this episode. So again, as I said, we're going to need some more zones. So we want to go to a warfare stockpile. See, we've put one there already in the corner. And let's pause and let's put a default stockpile on this side so we have more storage space. So all best laid plans go to waste. So we thought it was going to be a great haul, but we realised we actually need to prioritise it for other stuff, which is fine. We can just build another building and have that as our great hall and still have our library upstairs. Or you could even have the great hall upstairs and build another building for the library. Again, the choice is entirely yours. Now, I am loving this game. It is a great game. Somebody recently asked me, would I choose Foundation or Going Medieval? I said Foundation because it's a more polished game, because it's been out for a lot longer. However, I still love both. So if you could, and you're able to, I would still have both games, because they both have their benefits in their own rights, although there are a lot of similarities. Foundation is obviously more of a city builder, whereas if you compare this really to any other game on my channel, it's actually a lot closer to Stranded Alien Dawn from its management perspective of your settlers. So again, just speeding up time. We're at night at the moment, so obviously nothing happens when everyone's asleep. In fact, really, I probably should have cut this piece and made it an even shorter episode, maybe made it 10 minutes long. But our church still hasn't been built. Our Great Hall, which is now a storage room with the library upstairs, still hasn't been done, and nobody has collected the stuff, and our church, our place of worship, hasn't been started. So as you can see, there's still a lot to be done. Oh, I went too far down then. And yeah, so everyone's up and about, enjoying their leisure time, and then they will all start working again. But the most important thing is we have a decent amount of food, we have a decent amount of resources, and at the same time, we have our shared bedroom, we have what will eventually become a kitchen area, and then our great hall. So it's just giving specific room allocation so that you get the buffs, rather than just having multi-purpose, non-specifically functioning rooms. And something else eventually will be to give people their own individual bedrooms, especially since the recent changes mean that you can allocate a bedroom to a specific person. And of course there are more updates upcoming as well. So let's allocate these trees to be chopped down. And there we go, Cherry the goat has also given birth to Wobble and Pickles. So we've got 2 baby goats. We've now got 4 in total. Fantastic. And that's pretty much it for episode 3 of Going Medieval. I do hope you're enjoying the series. If you are finding it helpful, then please do subscribe to the channel, or at least boot that like button. And until next time, wherever you are in the world, all it leaves me to say, of course, is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, Know It All Gaming, good night.